Have you ever struggled with creating a structured classroom environment? Creating a structured classroom environment is important for all teachers, but it is particularly important for special education teachers. Students crave and thrive in structured learning environments. As a special education teacher, it is necessary to make our learning environments as optimal as possible for learning. My 5-day unit explores two behavioral IEP goals along with two Common Core mathematics goals. By the end of this 5-day unit plan, students will be able to recognize when it's time to transition from one activity to another, quietly and respectfully keep their hands and feet to themselves during transition, successfully transition from one activity to the next within 2 minutes. Students will also learn how to write numbers 0 through 20 and represent a number of objects with a written numeral getting at least 17 correct or 85%, and how to compose and decompose numbers from 11 to 19 into tens and ones and record each composition and decomposition by a drawing or an equation. The unit incorporates how it garners multiple intelligences and all levels of Bloom's taxonomies. The standards for this unit come from IEP goals, the Common Core Math Standards, and the ISTE's Educational Technologically Standards for Students. The technology standards for the unit are Empowered Learner, Knowledge Constructor, Innovative Designer, and Computational Thinker. To meet these standards, all students will work in cooperative groups to come up with innovative solutions to problems posed by the teacher. Students will be responsible for recognizing when it is time to transition and get into a habit of effectively transitioning from one activity to the next. Students will be asked to watch or listen to the countdown timer and transition within the 2-minute countdown time. Students will watch YouTube videos and have access to math gaming websites to help them practice what they are learning. Students will use Glogster to create their own web page that showcases their learning and gives them a place to look back and remember what they learned before tests. I have incorporated gamification of learning into my unit as I believe it is crucial for our learners to have fun with the classroom experience in order to retain what is learned and to make their day feel like it's going by faster. In this unit, I incorporate fun into each multiple intelligence category. Verbal learners need to speak to learn. These students will use audio note to record and repeat back to themselves the numbers 0 through 20 and recite the numbers in order to learn sequencing. They will use Montessori math to interact with math and work in small groups to answer addition and subtraction problems. Verbal learners will also use Too Noisy to help regulate their volume during transition, and Kids Journal filled with out with drag dictation to help them keep track of their own behavior. Interpersonal learners crave group work and will work in collaborative groups to answer the Math Google Doc. These students will also work in groups on Prodigy Math. Students will have assigned table teams and get points for working together, helping each other transition smoothly within 2-minute YouTube countdown. Kinesthetic learners need to move to learn. When learning about numbers, these students will play a game of quickly grouping themselves into groups 1 through 20, depending on a number I call out at random. These students will use the Xbox Connect game Mind and Body Connection to answer math questions in a fun, kinesthetic manner. Students who are struggling with staying calm through transitions will go on a brain break with a classroom aide to run off some energy. Intrapersonal learners learn best on their own. I will give these students time alone on cool math games. They will have a Math Educations journal where they can write their own math questions. Although I expect my students to do well in transitions, for rough days they will have access to an app called Breathe to help with any anxiety and access to a meditation corner. Naturalist students learn through hierarchies. I will assign naturalist students a Mondomo account to create an informational fact sheet about how addition and subtraction are related. These students will create their own infographic on Venngage.com or Educreation's educational whiteboard about transitions. Visual learners have the benefit of learning from the YouTube videos we show in class. To help these students learn more, they will go to adaptivemind.com and search for a number line game to play. The countdown timer I am using from YouTube will be displayed for visual learners as well. Musical learners also benefit greatly from the YouTube videos I will be displaying throughout my unit. Every day we will watch a number line learning song on YouTube. The musical learners will use an app called Penguin Chase that incorporates musical notes into math games. Every transition in class will be to the same song with the same countdown timer. This will benefit the musical learners as well. Logical learners thrive in structured environments. To help these students learn, I will have math time at the same time every day. These students will use an app called Learn with Rufus Math that teaches counting and comparing quantities. Students will work on addition and subtraction in a Google Doc that I set up daily. To help the logical students transition, I will bring their attention to the transition timer and remind them of the rules before I press play. This unit has helped me discover and incorporate technology that will reach every student's potential to learn through their own multiple intelligence. I have learned just how crucial it is for teachers to know their students' multiple intelligence and how to go about teaching them both individually and as a group. Teachers who know how their students learn best are able to create a fun atmosphere of learning for their whole class.